Okay, Moody students, now you're ready to get started in the first week's work. You can see the list here just above. We've got two objectives this week. Really want to review the major points of significance within the history of interpretation. That'll give you a sense of where things have been and where we are today and how we got there. And then secondly, to summarize the various aspects of hermeneutics and the purposes of interpretation. Again, this is all to get your feet basically grounded, give you the general parameters of our study. You'll be reading in Klein, Introduction to Biblical Interpretation, and you're going to be covering pages 23 through 62, and this has to do with the history of interpretation. And I think you'll find this, on one hand, quite interesting. It can get a little laborious reading through it, but stay the course, because getting a handle on, again, where we've been and where we've come from is going to be very helpful in your general understanding of hermeneutics as we move forward. But you're going to read through the various Jewish interpretive approaches, the apostolic period, the patristic period, the Middle Ages, the Reformation, the post-Reformation period, and the modern period. And again, I think you'll find it interesting just getting oriented to those kinds of things. You'll also be reading again in Van Hooser, about 47 pages there. Again, it's not that difficult to read. Van Hooser will stretch your mind, though. He's going to challenge you. And, as I said in one of the other videos, I'm reading another book by him for my PhD studies, and he's a solid thinker. And I think you're going to find his information interesting. But just as you see the title here, what is everyday theology? And how and why should Christians read culture? This first section of the book, which is composed simply of this chapter, is Introduction toward a Theory of Cultural Interpretation. That is, how do we understand our culture, and how do we relate to it, and how can we relate the Bible to our culture? That's all going to be part of this. And then, of course, you've got the three audio lectures there. You can listen to them, but the script is there as well, so you can follow along the script, and I would encourage you to do that. Matter of fact, you might want to have the script and be highlighting it or making notes on it if you print it out, or use it with your word processor to highlight things that you think are important. Also, by the way, backing up just a moment, Van Hooser's reading is here for you in a PDF as well. You can download that if you haven't gotten your copy of the book, but I trust you will be getting your copy of the book very soon if you haven't already. Be sure this week to take some time to introduce yourself. Again, there should be some guidelines there, things we'd like to find out about you if possible, just to get acquainted and know one another. It's sort of isolationist when you're learning online, and getting to know who your classmates are and who the professor is can be helpful in that way. That's one reason why I'm doing these videos, is to make it more personal, if you would. Then you've got your discussion question this week. You're going to be summarizing your understanding of hermeneutics and the goal of the interpretive process. Be sure to include a brief review of Van Hooser's application of hermeneutics to the interpretation of culture, and give your initial opinion on that approach. Your discussion response is broader than the Van Hooser issue, but you just want to make sure you include that in it. And then you've got the Klein reference chart to complete. So read your instructions there and complete that. Remember, you want to get your first discussion response in by Friday night, and then you want to get your two responses into peers between Friday night and Monday night. And all the other work, your introduction and your chart should also be done by Monday as well. Well, that's pretty much it for this week. Trust you'll have an enjoyable study, and it'll serve to lay a great foundation for the course. God bless.